I remember when I was making big changes in my life over a decade ago, I learned very quickly that there was a limit on what I could share in public, at work, at church, in the neighborhood, with friends, new friends and friends from the past. And it seemed that there was this unspoken rule that if you stay the same, keep the status quo, there won't be any problems. But once you start to make some radical changes in your life, like quitting drinking or going on a whole food plant-based diet or picking up jujitsu or picking up a new hobby, taking on an Ironman or your first marathon or whatever, that's when you start to get some opinions that are pretty dissenting, right? Dissenting opinions, criticism. If you don't get criticism, you will hear others sort of speak to why they choose to not make those changes, like reasons why they drink, reasons why they could never do a plant-based diet, reasons why they'd never do an Ironman, reasons why they couldn't possibly do jujitsu, or why weightlifting is wrong, or why running is wrong and it's bad for your ankles, whatever. But you'll get those types of things. And I learned over time that there wasn't a problem with me sharing what I was working on, demons that I was killing in my life, but it really made and brought into focus who I could share and when. And so I tried some different strategies. For example, if somebody noticed a change, like, hey, have you lost some weight? Yeah, hey, thanks for asking. I've lost such and such pounds in the last couple months, and leaving it at that. And if they ask for how'd you do it, and they seem like they're open, I would then kind of go in and start talking to them about what I was doing. And more often than not, those types of conversations would result in lots of cool insights for the person I was speaking with, or somebody that says, I've been thinking of trying that. I've been thinking of trying quitting drinking or fasting from coffee or whatever, the multiple different things that I've done in my life. And the conversation was just really more productive that way. Whereas if I would say in a public environment for like a team lunch or something that, I can't eat meat. In that case, in that example, when I'd say, I'm not eating meat right now, the blowback or the judgment would come in those moments, right? Well, you're just going to eat your rabbit food. It'd show up in things like that. Comments like, I'm just going to eat my food over here, which is actual sustenance for my body. Turn really kind of contentious. People kind of seem to get burned out on you and all the positive changes that you're making in your life. And so to bring it all in focus, I think it's important because we've talked about a lot of heavy topics lately on this show. We've talked about crushing addictions, continuous improvement, building a business out of a hobby. I had a guest that created a service based on AI software with his wife, right? Just to have some fun. We've talked about making bold moves in our lives. And I just wanted to say that if you've made any big changes in your life recently and you're struggling to find people to share it with me. I want to hear about it. I will always be that person in your life. I will always be that podcast host that wants to hear about all the cool improvements that you've changed. I want to hear about the debt you paid off. I want to hear about it. I remember somebody in my life paid off their cars, paid off their house. They got debt free. I wasn't debt free at the time. Still am not. I wanted to hear about it. I was interested in it. It didn't make me feel insecure. I know there's been a couple moments in my life where I felt insecure about somebody sharing something that they beat that I struggled with, but I've never taken it to the point where I've offered criticism for why they made that choice or how they decided to do it or why I could never do it. I've always been genuinely interested. And I think that's why one of my core strengths is continuous improvement. That's why a huge part of this show, one of our core values, one of our immutable laws is continuous improvement, because I truly do care about that. If you're struggling to find people in your life, drop your notes in the comments, talk about a change that you've made recently. obviously look for other people and find those people that are going to challenge you as iron sharpens iron to get better and improve. But don't stop improving, and don't allow the opinions of other people to prevent you from sharing the good news in your life. I just felt a nudge today to get this out there and say that if you're improving something in your life, I'm proud of you. I think a lot of our subscribers would say they're proud of you. A lot of folks that are attracted to this show are of the like mind that we are here. They care about continuous improvement. They care about tribal strength, experiential learning, all of those things. So thanks. I'll see you on the next episode.